You're listening to The Shiny Sofa, the official podcast from Latex 24/7, the premier online magazine dedicated to latex fashion news, reviews, and interviews.
Hello, and welcome to episode 14 of The Shiny Sofa. Coming up on this show, we talk about latex at the Beth Awards, some added shine on Dancing with the Stars, and we take a look at a recent interview with German designer Luellepop. Joining us today is the extraordinary latex designer, Beth Parkin.
I think I'm someone who sees latex clothing as a creative outlet and a technical challenge.
So take a seat on the sofa, make yourself comfortable, and don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and of course via latex247.co.uk.
Hi everyone, thank you for joining us for episode number 14 of The Shiny Sofa, the latex fashion podcast brought to you by Latex 24/7. Each episode will welcome a special guest, and I'm super thrilled to say that this week we've got the amazing Beth Parkin. Hey Beth, how you doing? You okay?
Hi, thanks for having me. I'm great. How are you?
Oh, thanks for being here. It's fab. Yeah, I'm doing good, thank you.
Pleasure.
Really looking forward to getting to chat to you as somebody who's been in the industry and the community for so many years. I'm sure you've probably got plenty of insight and knowledge to share. So
I hope so.
Look forward to it. Thank you.
Yeah, brilliant. Me too.
Here at The Shiny Sofa, we like to find out a little bit more about what our guests and what makes them tick with a segment of the show we call the Quickfire Round. We have a huge list of queries and questions which we feed into our random generator, and our guests have 60 seconds to answer as many as quickfire multiple choice questions as they can before the time runs out. Right, you ready, Beth? Should we go for it?
Let's do it.
Fab. Here we go then. Let's go. Rap or rock?
Rock.
Scary movie or comedy movie?
Scary.
Calling or texting?
Texting.
Jeans or sweatpants?
Sweatpants.
Glass half full or glass half empty?
Half full.
Elevator or stairs?
Stairs.
Pepsi or Coke?
Pepsi.
Be rich or be famous?
Rich.
Ketchup or mayonnaise?
Mayonnaise.
Heels or flats?
Ooh, flats.
Flowers or chocolates?
Flowers.
Instagram or TikTok?
Instagram.
Paris or New York?
Paris.
Trick or treat?
Trick.
Hot or cold?
Hot.
Money or love?
Love.
Sleep in or wake up early?
Oh, definitely sleep in.
Rare or well done?
Rare.
Dog or cat?
Ooh, cat.
And I think that sound there means we've run out of time. I make that's 19. You got there, Beth.
So close.
In second place. So close. So close. You have to come back in the future and try again when you're second
try and
time.
beat my top score.
Yeah. It's fantastic. Thank you for that. We'll be right back in a moment. So let's take a look at some of the recent latex clothing and fashion news stories that we featured over on latex247.co.uk. First of all, we'll start with the 2024 Beth Awards over in the States. We saw Halle Bailey wearing a Sublime gown from Avellano with that wonderful kind of snakeskin texture that they kind of hexagonal snakeskin texture that they have in that particular latex, which I think really stands out and just makes it look very, very unique. And then we also had Scottish singer Talia Storm, who was there wearing the sadly now departed latex couture. That was a stunning black full length gown. I just think for these ones, Beth, just goes to show that latex can be elegant, sexy, but at the same time can be something that's versatile and available for anybody and everybody to wear. Really, what's your opinion on what we saw?
Oh, I love that Halle Bailey dress. That, as you say, that snakeskin
Yeah.
print is so subtle. It's really elegant. I wonder who made that sheeting.
Good question. Good question.
I
have
really.
a feeling I did get told one, so I can't
Oh,
remember.
really? I mean, latex repair springs to mind, but who knows?
Yeah, could be.
And that neck piece, the metal ring, that's really cool. And I really enjoy seeing the gathering, because like smooth, tight latex is lovely, obviously, but I really enjoy seeing a bit of texture in there.
Yeah, it is very nice. Yeah, I was that the eye kind of gets drawn to that, doesn't it? Which,
Yeah.
I suppose, given the area of its covering, was part of the purpose. But
low back as well.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
definitely. And yeah, that as you say, that metal ring around the neck to hold it all there. It's very, very nice.
Really
Very,
gorgeous.
very stunning.
And I really appreciate the fit on the Talia Storm dress on those cups, especially because cups that don't fit are my bugbear. And it looks perfect on her.
It does. Yeah, very elegant in all black. Gorgeous sort of thigh high slit in it as well, just to accentuate.
Really classic.
Yeah, it is classic, but with that modern twist, which
absolutely.
Yeah, love that.
I did see some people sort of commenting on the Instagram post saying she's not shined a dress.
That's very true. It did look a little bit.
I do quite enjoy a matte latex sometimes. I think it's quite chic.
Allows it to take on an tiny look, doesn't it? Really, with you say, that matte approach to it. Yeah. Probably stopped her slipping off that bar stool as well as she sat on as well, to be fair. So.
That is a hazard. When you get it on your heels.
We also covered Australian dancer Shana Burgess, who was one of the judges on the Australian version of Dancing with the Stars. She was there in a stunning blue Lady P cat suit and opera gloves for the show. Of course, the Lady P brand and everything is a creation from Atsuko Kudo. Just never fails to look phenomenal. Absolutely stunning on her. Just really,
that royal blue is
just stunning. It's that empowering word in just its purest sense, isn't it? Really, that outfit, it's phenomenal. Yeah,
I really like I like monochromatic outfits, like all one colour.
Yeah,
just so strong, such a strong look.
Yeah, completely agree with that. Completely agree. It's absolutely stunning.
The Atsuko Kudo cups are so recognisable. They're so iconic. I don't know why. You just always know it's Atsuko Kudo.
You do.
Yeah.
You do. Yeah, very true. Very true. It's the same with what's the one they do? The one that's got the slight underwiring. I forgot what that was called.
The like Uniwire.
Yeah. That's also, as soon as you see that, you pretty much know it's going to be Atsuko Kudo, don't you? It's
again, they're so the design is so simple, but it's so elegant and chic and just gorgeous.
I think that's one of the main appeals of latex sometimes, really. I think, Beth, in that the designs themselves can be simple, but it's the material itself and often the shine of it is the bit that really sort of shouts out, doesn't it, to the world? That's the bit that really interests and
it's really showcasing the body, and also sometimes the colour can be the main character.
True. Yeah, definitely. As you say, that royal blue is really eye-popping. Finally, we actually covered an interview from another magazine, Kathleen Reinhackel, who was the creative force between Berlin-based Luellepop Latex, was interviewed by Lucire magazine. Hope I pronounced that right. Really, really interesting article to read, and I really do encourage anybody to go and read the full article, because it goes into an awful lot about Kathleen's history and experience within the industry and what she tried to do with the brand. But the reason I wanted to talk to you about that one, Beth, was I think Luellepop is quite a fashion-focused brand, without a doubt. Combining the latex with the kind of lace and chiffon and stuff. But I think some of their designs, their skirts and kind of very baggy trousers and things and stuff, leggings and things, are so accessible to anybody. Really,
Yeah,
they look like just general fashion, shall we say, rather than necessarily anything sort of fetish based or whatever. And very clever designs and brand now, I think.
Yeah, it's a really nice mix of like innovative techniques like the knitted latex, creating that texture with really sort of classic romantic shapes. It's just a really nice mix that makes everything seem so wearable, but also like exciting and new.
Yeah.
And absolutely that mix of chiffon and latex is elegant and gorgeous, and I love it.
Yeah. Perfect for the summertime, I imagine, as well, really.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for that, Beth. It's been great to get your view on those, and we'll be back in a few moments.
You're listening to The Shiny Sofa, the official podcast from Latex 24/7, the premier online magazine dedicated to latex fashion news, reviews, and interviews.
So, welcome back to The Shiny Sofa, Latex Fashion Podcast, brought to you by Latex 24/7. Join us again this episode is latex designer and pattern cutter, Beth Parkin. Welcome back, Beth. Thanks for being here again.
Yeah, thanks. Great to be here.
Yeah, awesome. When I speak to designers and brands and those involved in the kind of manufacture of latex garments, I'm always interested to know about how they started within the world of fashion generally. When and how did your journey into that world begin, and was it something that you've always had an interest in from an early age, or?
Yeah, I guess I would say so. Even as a child, I would have those sort of games where you would draw little outfits for little fashion models of kits you get. And I think I initially got interested in latex in particular. I think it all developed from being like a teenage goth. I was really into like black PVC and bondage inspired sort of edgy clothing.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then Bizarre magazine, that was a big thing for me. And I sort of idolized people like Nina Kate and Victoria Modesta, Mizumi Max, all those kind of big models. And the latex love just kind of grew from there, I think.
Awesome. So did your journey into fashion start before the interest in latex then? Was that something that was part of college and universities and things?
Yeah. I think I initially chose my university course, which was contour fashion at the Montfort University in Leicester.
Yep.
That was predominantly chosen because I was really into corsetry and really into burlesque.
Okay.
And so that all kind of came alongside latex, I'd say, but that was the main interest at first. And then latex became the main focus a bit later on.
Awesome. So that course at De Montfort, was that something that I suppose kind of gave you those initial skills, didn't it, to to be involved with the industry and the skills that were required to do the job that you do now?
Yeah, completely. The course kind of revolved around what we studied: lingerie, swimwear, corsetry, bodywear, all those really close-fitting garments. So
Yeah.
we really focused on fit, and especially around the curves of the body. And it's kind of quite technical, and you need to look at things from an engineering standpoint, sort of, in a way.
I can see from the smile on your face that really gives you an awful lot of enjoyment. That
Yeah,
element of it. Yeah. It's good. So, what was it that drew you towards, other than seeing they say the people you mentioned in magazines and stuff? What was it that drew you towards latex versus sticking with traditional materials? You know, you could have quite happily gone down the traditional routes. What took you down the path that you've gone down?
I guess I've always liked something a bit edgier. I love how smooth and reflective latex is. And I also can't deny that when I was at uni, the fact that latex is more often than not glued together was kind of a big plus in a way, because when we were doing our final major collection at uni, everyone has to share the sewing room and you kind of have to fight over the machine. And so I lived quite far away from uni, and it was just kind of convenient that I could stay home and work from there. But obviously that's not the main reason. I just love how latex looks, and I find it quite sort of empowering in a way.
Yeah. That's a common word, isn't it? That's used without a doubt. Yeah. That's okay. That's a good read there, isn't it? Yes. I like that one. You touched on that there actually briefly there, Beth, about the kind of final year collection that you had to produce. I think that was probably the time that I first became aware of your work. Actually, was when you were featured down at London Graduate Fashion Week, wasn't it? Was that in 2013?
Yeah.
And your designs were obviously showing off on the catwalk as part of that. And yeah, it was to me at the time. It was I suppose a bit of a revelation, really. It was like, wow, what is this? This is because going back 11 years, it was quite unique then, wasn't it? Really, it was something that wasn't necessarily being seen by the wider public in the way that maybe it is these days.
Yeah, I think back then you didn't see as much fashion-inspired latex. It was very much still in the fetish aesthetic era. Not all the time, but in lots of ways. But yeah, I hope I managed to do something a little bit different.
Yeah, definitely. I do remember seeing those photos on. I imagine it was probably Instagram at the time or something, or Facebook maybe even back then.
No, if it was back then.
No, it probably was Facebook, wasn't it? Something to do. Yeah. So you completed your degree at De Montfort. You then went on to working as a pattern cutter over at Invincible Rubber, who are based in Nottingham. How did you achieve that, and what did that role mean for your career?
So I suppose there isn't like a really interesting story behind this. I was sort of at the end of my degree and looking for a job, and Invincible Rubber were advertising, and they're local to where I live. So I applied, and a bit back and forth, a few interviews, and I got the job. And it was a really big insight to how professional latex companies operate.
Yeah.
And I think it was a huge assistance in me for my career, because Invincible are a well-respected brand, well known
Of course,
for
good
good quality. So I know, especially when I was applying for Latex 101 later on, they were quite happy to have me on board because I come from somewhere that's well respected.
Yeah, it kind of gave you that initial experience that then, as you say, then allowed you to move on to other brands in the future. Yeah. You often describe, it's mentioned on your website, for example, you often describe your role as a pattern cutter. Those not quite familiar with how latex fashion and clothing is manufactured, what exactly does that role involve, and how does it fit into the whole creative process of creating and designing and finishing off a latex garment?
So a pattern cutter is basically the person who creates the pattern pieces, the shapes from which a garment is made up of.
Okay.
So I would draft custom pattern pieces to the body measurements of my customer.
Yeah.
Or to the size chart of a brand if I'm working with a brand. So I would just like to highlight that sometimes to say that I'm a maker and a designer, but a huge part of my work is creating the patterns and creating the patterns to fit individuals, hopefully perfectly.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
And I think it's clear to see from again from your website, from your socials and everything that you clearly do far more than just the pattern cutting side of it. You are there from designing garments from beginning to end, aren't you? Really seeing it from the initial sketches to the finished product. You know, we've seen plenty of models wearing your garments on a regular basis. So yeah. Since you were working at Invincible, you mentioned that you then went on to other brands such as Latex 101, Regulation, and of course Yummy Gummy, who glad to say, according to their news released a couple of days ago, the brand will be back.
I know, exciting.
Which is great to see. That's amazing. Such a huge part of the industry and the community.
That's lose them.
It was.
I'm really glad that someone's taking it over.
Someone's taking it over, and that name will continue definitely because it's synonymous with the whole community, isn't it? Yeah. What were your favourite garments to create during the time with those brands, and what stood out for you most, and also what did you take inspiration from for creation of some of those individual items?
Oh, there's so many, especially Yummy Gummy outfits stand out, especially because the patterns are so fun and unique, and you can just create something really special with them. I think one commission that springs to mind was we made a blouse and a circle skirt outfit in this wild neon yellow and pink marble. And it was just fantastic. It was just so colourful and fun. And that's one that really sticks in my mind.
Yeah. It's wealth of experience without a doubt. What do you enjoy most about working with latex, other than the fact that you get to work from home rather than in a sewing room?
That is a big plus, I can't
Yeah, what do you enjoy most about working it, and what do you think are the biggest challenges when working with the material? What's been your biggest sort of learning experience during your career?
I think what I really enjoy about working with latex is truly working with your hands, like the tactile nature of it. I mean, I love sewing, but you've still got the sewing machine in between you and the garment, right?
Yeah.
So you kind of, it's a little bit more hands-on with latex. And with doing it for so many years, there's a real sort of skill and knowledge you develop in your fingers almost. Like you know when to apply how much pressure, and it's just those things that are really satisfying, just really feeling it.
Yeah. As you say, very tactile, isn't it? It's,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, biggest challenges, I think that's always going to be getting the fit exactly right.
Yep.
Especially a lot of the times I'm working with clients that are overseas, so you don't get to measure them in person or try something on. So you've got to rely on people to take not just correct measurements, but to measure things in the same way that you would. And people have different ways of doing things a lot of the time. So nowadays, I tend to create a sample, say, catsuit for someone, send that out for them and have them try it on, send me a video of them wearing it. And 9 times out of 10, we get the fit pretty well spot on. But I just like the opportunity to go back for the final garment and get it perfect before we've spent a lot of time on the crazy detailed design. We can do something simple first.
Yeah, it's all about making sure that fits right, so that it can be enjoyed for years to come, isn't it? Really,
it's an investment. These items, so they're not cheap. They're a luxury. So you want to get it right for your customer.
For sure. Yeah, without a doubt. Is that something then that drives you for creating more designs and collections in the future? That interactions and the reaction that you get from the customers, is that something that drives you forward and keeps you interested?
Yeah, completely. The clients are a huge motivation, not just because I want them to be ecstatic with what I've produced for them, but their creativity as well. When they come to me with an idea and it just sparks something off in my brain and I'm going, oh my God, that's so cool. And I immediately want to go and start drawing it. I have to stop myself because I've got other stuff to be doing, you know. But yeah, clients, absolutely. As well as my own curiosity and my interest in figuring out new techniques to how to do things, especially pattern cutting ideas, different ways of putting together a garment. Just people, just working with people, that kind of sense of community almost is really wonderful.
Yeah, awesome to hear. Yeah, I can understand the interest and intrigue in that one, without doubt. You know, just thinking of some of the photos I've seen recently that I've looked at from some of the designs, and there was that pink, blue, and sort of baby blue, baby pink, white striped gown.
A cat.
You know, I know that was a particular sort of commission that she put to you, and I can imagine that being a perfect example of what you've just described. Is that something that you think, you know, here's an idea, how can I achieve that in the best possible way for her to be able to?
Yeah, completely. That was a delight to make. It was so beautiful, and she's a sweetheart, and she always has great ideas. So
Definitely.
that was lovely.
Yeah, results were amazing. Yeah. How versatile is latex to work with, and how versatile is it to help you create those designs of your dreams? Do you think it's more complex and or actually easier than a traditional material? You know, can you do things with latex that you could never ever do with other materials, for example?
I think there are different challenges, right? I don't think it's necessarily easier or more difficult. It's just different. So with traditional materials, you've got to worry about kind of the grain line or the direction of the stretch of the fabric when you're cutting it out, the tension of your thread and the right kind of needle, all those kind of things that aren't really an issue with latex unless you're going to be sewing some latex or something.
Yeah.
So you don't have that to worry about, but then you've got a whole new set of challenges picking the right thickness of the latex sheeting or getting the right stretch reduction in your pattern so that it's not baggy, but then it's also not going to choke you or make your elbows sore because it's too tight. So there's a huge amount of things to think about. And you also need to consider latex is quite a delicate fabric. Sometimes you can put nails through it. You can get light damage. So yeah, I think it's just different. And there are things you can do with latex you can't do with other things. Like, I mean, we see with HARRI, for example, doing the inflatable trousers.
Of course. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
You don't see that with normal materials.
No, without a doubt. Without a doubt. Yeah. Well, just coming back round to that again, you've kind of now moved on to being what you class as a full-time freelancer.
Mm-hmm.
You're working with some of the top brands in the industry, really. Dark Virtue, HARRI, who you've already mentioned, Insatiable Studio. Super excited for that new collection when it comes out.
September. Yes.
Yes, the sneak peeks I've seen are phenomenal. Affordable Latex, Fab London, Filth Latex, who we had on the show a couple of episodes ago. Decouture, Tightside, and of course the Latex store. I imagine that you must get quite a lot of high level satisfaction from working with such well known and respected brands.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. It's a dream to work with some of those names, especially Dark Virtue, who I've always looked up to, and now it's I get to help her make her gorgeous items, and hopefully we'll be doing even more together in the future. So it's super, super exciting, not just to help established brands, but also the new up-and-coming designers like Insatiable, who are increasingly coming out with more innovative and exciting designs, and moving away a little bit from your traditional catsuits and leggings and just injecting something a little bit different into the market. And it's a real privilege to help them achieve those creative goals.
Yeah, definitely. That's a perfect segue into the next question, actually. As someone who's worked in the industry for almost 10 years now, what's your opinion and view on latex fashion following those trends? You know, you mentioned there about new and upcoming brands that aren't necessarily sticking with the traditional garments that you might expect with the world of latex. Do you think that the seasonal catwalk trends that we always see from the large fashion houses, do you think they actually do influence latex fashion, or is there still a little bit of a separation between the two worlds, shall we say?
Well, I think it's inevitable, right, that the catwalk trends, they trickle down onto the high street. Mm-hmm. They trickle down and influence all of us.
Yeah.
So I think that does get incorporated to latex fashion trends in terms of, say, if you've got a high waist or a low waist, or just styling choices people make.
Yeah.
But there is also, as I have said, there's that traditional fetish aesthetic that kind of stays the same. people will always like their black latex catsuits, and maybe they're more interested in the sensual aspect of latex, how it feels, rather than being fashionable.
Yeah.
And then you've sort of got another group who are the fashionistas, the creative, the crazy ones, who I think catwalk designers are getting inspired by them because they're so unique. So it's a whole circle of fashion in a way.
Yeah, we've definitely seen more latex on the catwalk, haven't we? In the last sort of 4 or 5 years or so. Often very simple things like gloves or something, but yeah, that's as you say, it's that circle, isn't it? That one influences the other, and one may continue. As well as designing and manufacturing latex, we also often see you actually wearing the material. Latex clothing means different things to different people. What does latex fashion mean to you?
I think I'm someone who sees latex clothing as a creative outlet and a technical challenge. I do enjoy the confidence it gives me and sort of feeling a little bit sexy. Because I'm quite a shy person in a lot of ways, and I think I've always used how I look to express myself, because I can find it quite difficult to express myself verbally a lot of the time. And I don't know, I think it's, like I said before, empowering, because especially when you are wearing latex in public, I think people can find it low-level intimidating. Like the level of confidence and almost blatant sexuality that you exude. And I think, people can find that intimidating, and that's almost a powerful feeling to be wielding in the world.
I like it. Yeah, that's good. What would you say to anyone who's interested in wearing latex and maybe hasn't done? What would be your best piece of advice to someone who's thinking of trying the material for the first time and hasn't done so?
I feel like when I speak to newbies about latex, the thing that is stopping them, apart from obviously we're in a cost of living crisis and finances are tight, I think a lot of the time it's lack of knowledge about where to shop from. People don't know what brands are good quality, but also aren't going to break the bank for your first piece. So my advice generally is to look at companies like Libidex, say, who they've got a wide range of designs that you can easily access online, and it's not too intimidating, it's not too expensive, so people can get a feel for if they like latex with a simple garment like a tank top or a skirt that's not too difficult to get on, and they can just try it out and dip the toe in. Maybe try something with zips if you are worried about getting into it.
Good idea. Yeah. That definitely makes it easier, without a doubt. Yeah. Good tips there, Beth. I like those ones. I got when somebody I was speaking to found out that you were going to be on this podcast speaking to us. I had a few questions that people were interested about. And we've covered a couple of them. But one of them that really intrigued me was, what's your favourite colour latex to work with and why? we're going to go back to the black goth PVC things here, are we?
Well, I mean, black's classic, isn't it? But
Yes, to be fair, it is.
I do enjoy a good plum. I really like plum as a colour.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's probably going to be my pick. I've got more into colourful stuff now. I've seen some lime. I really want to do something with lime.
Wow. Wow, that must be that must be quite shocking is the wrong term, but it's just quite impressive to see. Yeah, wow. Well, we look forward to a lime catsuit appearance.
Oh yeah, one day.
If you could create a latex outfit for anybody in the world, who would it be, and why? Can you give a description of what that outfit might be like?
This is honestly like a super hard question. My knee-jerk reaction is someone like Dita Von Teese, because she's a goddess, right?
Okay. Yeah.
But I feel like she's had her fill of latex. She's a pro. She's worn the best of the best.
You want to try someone new, don't you?
Yeah. So you need to introduce someone new.
Yeah.
And I kind of feel like it would be fun to go for a fashionable guy, because I don't think men get as much recognition in latex clothing as women do.
Like it.
So what I'm thinking is, my new sort of favourite band at the moment is Bob Dylan with a V.
Yep.
And their singer he's kind of got this cool, punky, edgy vibe in some of the clothing he wears sometimes. So I think I would like to make something baggy, colourful, patterned, like a punky edge for him. I think that would be cool.
Yeah, like that one. Awesome. What's next for Beth Parkin? What's upcoming? What can you tell us about that's going to be going on within the industry and within you in the near future?
Well, I'm going to be continuing to work with brands, ongoing with Dark Virtue. I'm going to be helping Insatiable more. Hopefully HARRI will continue to be working with.
Yeah.
And new people and new commissions I'm always open to taking as and when I'm available.
There you go. Heard it here first, folks.
Yeah, people are keeping me really busy at the moment. It's great. One thing I've had in the back of my mind for ages that I would really like to do, but it's just the time to really do it right. I would really like to develop a range of latex patterns for hobby makers with like instructional videos and photos and stuff. Obviously, it takes a long time to develop, and you've really got to fit test for a diverse range of bodies before I'd be happy to release that. But hopefully one day we'll see that from me.
Yeah, that should be good. Really, really good way for people to pick up the skill and maybe a bit of a hobby, and who knows what that might lead to. Yeah. Awesome. Well, we'll look out for that soon then, Beth. In that case, yeah.
Not too soon.
No pressure. Fab. Well, I think unfortunately that's all we've got time to go through today.
Okay.
Where's that 40 minutes gone to?
Oh, blimey.
Just before we say goodbye, Beth, do you want to give everyone a reminder of where they can find you online and your socials and so forth?
Yep. So my website is www.bethparkin.com. I'm on Instagram at I'm on Instagram at parkin.beth. I'm also on TikTok, although I don't really use TikTok, but I'm up there if you want to find me at latex.beth.
Fab. Well, it's been awesome to speak to you, Beth.
It's been so lovely. Thank you for having me.
It's been really nice to hear your views and your experience, and hopefully we'll get to speak again soon. And we'll speak later. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Bye. I'm afraid that's all we have time for on this episode of The Shiny Sofa. Many thanks to our special guest, Beth Parkin, for being with us today. We hope you found The Shiny Sofa comfy and will join us again next time. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button wherever you listen to your podcast. Check us out on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and be sure to head over to latex247.co.uk for all the latest latex fashion news and reviews.